Hello everyone and welcome back. I am the casting hydralist, VP Nursky, coming to you guys with an awesome gamecast. And first, to introduce our players, first spawning here in the south as the blue Zerg, ROOTDestiny. And his opponent for this matchup spawning to the north as the red Zerg is going to be none other than EGIdrA. This is going to be on the map Xel'Naga Caverns. This is a pretty good map. It has been in the map pool for quite some time now for Blizzard on their ladder. This is a game from the Battle.net ladder. Each player will be getting out their initial overlords, going 9 overlord, then getting that extra drone to go up to 10 of 10 while they wait for the overlord to hatch. All very standard things so far. No early pools or any kind of early game shenanigans from either player. Both players looking to play a more standard game. It is important to note on the map Xel'Naga Caverns, for anybody who has not played a whole lot of Starcraft 2 before, as you leave your base and come down the ramp, you have a fairly easy to take, I should say, natural, rather large, wide open area right outside the ramp. So most players will tend to one base at the beginning of this matchup in ZVZ. Do have EGIdrA taking his extractor now on 14. Meanwhile, in ROOTDestiny's base, he's going to be taking his extractor on 15. So going for a slightly more economical opening, now getting his pool up. EGIdrA also with his pool up as well, just slightly before the pool of Destiny. Going to be starting gas now for EGIdrA as he puts 3 drones straight into his gas. Likewise, expecting ROOTDestiny to do much of the same. So at this point in the matchup, we're just going to have to wait and see what each player is going to decide to do once their pool pops. We do have ROOTDestiny's pool now at 50%. Likewise, EGIdrA's pool just slightly ahead as it nears about the 75% mark. If you're looking at the production tab, you can see that both players are about on equal ground. Looking at the income tab, we can see that Destiny has a 1 worker advantage over EGIdrA. So he will have a slight economic advantage. EGIdrA will have the slight tech advantage as he will be getting his speed first, since he did start his gas quite a bit earlier than ROOTDestiny. ROOTDestiny should be starting his gas shortly as he does hit 100 gas now. There goes his speed now. Both players sending their initial overlords out towards the base of their opponent. Want to be able to see what their opponent is doing, have good map vision. 4 Zerglings already out on the map for EGIdrA, another 4 in production. Speed is on the way. First queens are up. And now we do have Destiny is going to make the first move, is starting a Baneling nest in his base. First couple of initial Zerglings moving forward. EGIdRA's going to poke at those for just 1 second, and then start heading back towards ROOTDestiny's base. Wants to see what Destiny is up to, wants to know what type of build he is up against, wants to get those Zerglings into the base if at all possible, see what is going on. Going to have a little bit of a confrontation here for a second, then EGIdRA's going to micro away those lings. He's going to try and see that Baneling nest. If you look at the vision here, he is going to indeed see the Baneling nest of Destiny as he goes through the base, running around there. No scouting in the base of EGIdRA just yet. EGIdRA immediately putting down a Spinecrawler's reaction, also getting his own Baneling nest. Meanwhile, back in the base of Destiny, we do see a Roach Warren on the way as well. Is going to be building some Banelings. Those are looking more like defensive Banelings though. Also ROOTDestiny immediately taking his expansion. Looking back towards the base of EGIdRA, we do now have speed finish. Is going to be moving forward with some of those Zerglings. Should easily pick off this 1 Zergling of Destiny. Destiny actually ends up getting the kill with the Zergling. His Zergling barely survives. Wants to get that Zergling forward. See exactly what EGIdRA is up to. If you look at the vision of Destiny, we do see that he does know that EGIdRA has not expanded yet while he is expanding. EGIdRA in the meantime, if we look at his vision, actually does not even know that Destiny has expanded yet. This expand already 50% done. And here comes EGIdRA now with his speedlings. A little bit of a speedling micro battle right here outside of the base of Destiny. EGIdRA's going to just back up. Decides he does not want to engage right now. A couple of Banelings in front of the natural for Destiny, so that would not be very good for EGIdRA to engage right there. Queen, couple of Banelings now coming down for EGIdRA. Going to meet ROOTDestiny's Zerglings over by his part of the map. Should easily actually be able to deal with these Zerglings. Would expect to see EGIdRA expand sometime too, except for that drone that he was going to expand with did get picked off by Destiny. Destiny actually going to let this drone go by. EGIdRA is going to expand. His expansion is now down. A couple of Zerglings moving into the base of EGIdRA want to see what is going on. Aren't going to see a whole lot at this point in the game. EGIdRA now getting a evolution chamber actually, so we'll have to see what he's going to decide to do with that. Meanwhile, back in the base of Destiny, we do have his expansion up. Roaches are now on the way. 3 roaches out for Destiny. A couple of banelings keeping defense of his bases. Destiny with a little bit of a supply block now, as we do have this queen picking off one of his overlords. He will have to remedy that before he can build any more units. EGIdrA now moving forward with a couple of banelings. May want to see if he can do some damage to the worker supply of Destiny. Destiny, however, being very smart, keeping his drones on the side of his base that he does have walled off with a couple of roaches. Couple of lings and banelings walling off his ramp right now. EGIdrA is just going to poke in and then back up with those zerglings. Doesn't want to really apply a lot of pressure right now. Actually showing Destiny a couple of those banelings to some of his overlords. Wants Destiny to know he does have some banelings ready for him, should Destiny try and do anything with speedlings. Now we have EGIdrA with the +1 upgrade for range attacks on the way. Roach Warren on the way as well for EGIdrA. Second gas on the way. His expansion just about to pop, does pop just now. If we look at the income tab really quick, we do see that it is all tied up, 31 to 31 harvesters. Both players do now have their natural expansions down. EGIdrA keeping a force present a little bit forward on the map. Is going to go and see if he can poke in at the base of Destiny. Maybe just wants to make sure Destiny is not mounting up any kind of significant amount of forces. He's going to poke in there really quick with the lings, try and pick off a drone. Does easily pick off one drone and then just runs away. A lot of workers on the way for both players at this point in the matchup. We do have the layer now on the way for Root Gaming Destiny. Layer on the way for EGIdrA as well. Both players are trying to macro up right now at this point in the matchup. Anytime you reach this kind of a stalemate, it really does become a matter of who can get up the better economy before starting to build a whole lot of units. EGIdrA with 10 drones on the way. If looking at the economy right now, we do have them still pretty even. Slight advantage to Destiny, 44 to the 42 of EGIdrA. But EGIdrA does have a couple of drones on the way, so you will be able to remedy that soon. +1 upgrades for the range attacks almost done now for EGIdrA. Second evolution chamber on the way. Looking back to the front of the base of Destiny, we do have him knocking down these rocks for his potential third base. A couple of lings and banelings, more roaches on the way. First evolution chamber for Destiny on the way right now so that he can start getting some upgrades. Layer is now up. No layer upgrades just yet. 3 spine crawlers going down at the front of Destiny. Destiny may be feeling a little bit defensive right now at this point in the matchup. Is going to be starting a rather fast infestation pit. A lot of players will tend to like to wait till they actually get on 3 base gas before starting it. Destiny, however, preferring the 2 base infestors. Does have that evolution chamber done. Has not started any upgrades yet. Just now starting the +1 ranged attacks upgrade. Meanwhile, EGIdrA starting on the carapace upgrade as well as the second range attack upgrade for his roaches. Also going to be moving forward, working on these destructible rocks for his gold base. So EGIdrA looking to maybe potentially take the gold as his third, where Destiny is looking more towards taking the regular natural blue base as his third. So we'll have to see how that actually pans out. EGIdrA now also does have Overlord speed, moving a couple Overlords forward, wants to be able to have good scouting on the map, spreading some creep around the map with those Overlords even. Wants to have his bases connected as much as possible, a couple of more roaches on the way. Starting up his infestation pit now as well. We also have Burrow on the way for Destiny. Burrow is just about to finish up. Back in the base of EGIdrA. Has not started Burrow at all yet, but is starting Roach Speed. Roach Speed has just now completed. +2 attack on his roaches, about halfway done. The +1 armor, about 80%, 90% of the way done. A lot of drones coming out for each player right now, as each player is just kind of macroing up right now, trying to get in a good defensive position. They're just going to be poking forward, see if he can take out this Overlord. Does have Overlord speed on his Overlords, so that'll make it much harder for Destiny to knock his Overlords off the map. Look at the income tab. We do see Destiny with a pretty significant lead right now at 64 to just a 52 of EGIdrA. Pathogen glands on the way now for EGIdrA. Destiny already has pathogen glands, getting 6 infestors out on the map. So Destiny playing a little bit more defensive, going to go a little more infestor heavy, a little bit lighter on the roaches. If we look at the unit tab really quick, we do see that EGIdrA does have a significant lead in the roach count, 28 to just a 12 with Destiny. So Destiny's going to be turtling up, using the infestors more defensively, doesn't want to actually get super aggressive, but we do have EGIdrA poking in, wants to take out the third of Destiny. Going to be poking with these roaches, does force Destiny to cancel his third, and then EGIdrA is just going to retreat straight after canceling that third. A very good move by EGIdrA. Just going to take that base out, move back. Meanwhile, if we look over by EGIdRA's base, he has gotten his third up now. He's going to be droning that up now, taking both the gases immediately. He's going to need that gas to support any kind of infestors. 2 infestors on the way for EGIdrA. pathogen glands has completed, so he will have fungal growth on any infestors he builds. We do have EGIdrA now moving out on the map, wants to move forward, maybe see if he can prevent that third from going up even more. A couple of overlords though spreading some creep, and then we have a good fungal growth by Destiny. Does pick off a couple of infestors there, or roaches I should say, there for just a second. Will at least stop them from pushing into his third. Ton of spine crawlers on the way, so ROOTDestiny playing extremely defensive at this point in the game. If we actually look at map vision right now, we do see that EGIdrA has an incredibly good vision of the map as he's moving around with these roaches. Definitely can see everything that's going on. Meanwhile, we look at Destiny, and not quite the vision of EGIdrA. Does have some okay vision. Does know that EGIdrA has taken this gold base, but that is about it. Couple of infestors forward. Maybe going to use those to harass EGIdrA. Rather than actually taking out the third of EGIdrA, he is instead going to opt just to. My apologies for that. My mouse got stuck for a second. So we do have EGIdrA actually moving in. He is going to go for the base of Destiny. Destiny has a lot of spine crawlers, though, an incredibly huge amount of spine crawlers. Going to be using those to try and hold this off, throwing down some fungal growths on both armies. I do not think EGIdrA is actually going to be able to break Destiny here. He's probably going to have to back up. Is indeed going to have to back up. Not going to be able to break that wall of spine crawlers that Destiny is using. So EGIdrA is going to be forced to retreat. Destiny's going to poke out a little bit, but really doesn't have the army count to actually move in and do any damage. So he's going to have to keep playing a little bit more defensively at this point in the game. But we do have, while that was going on, look at that. I don't know if you guys can't tell what happened, but Destiny going in there, using some fungal growths, taking out all the drones at EGIdRA's third base. If we look at the income tab, we can see it's still slight advantage now for EGIdRA, 59 to just a 55 of Destiny. Destiny had to use a couple of his drones to build this wall of spine crawlers that he does have up on the map. Just now trying to drone up his third, but we do have a couple of roaches from EGIdRA actually sitting on the edges here, preventing any mining at the third base of Destiny. So Destiny is going to have to take care of these roaches, bring just a few of his roaches up, and easily clean up those two roaches of EGIdRA to secure the mining at his third base. Destiny now moving forward with a bunch of speedlings, wants to maybe see if he can do some harassment to EGIdRA. He's going to end up clearing these speedlings off the tower. Moves forward a little bit, but decides to back up. Going to try and go around another direction. But we do have in the fourth of EGIdRA 4 infested Terrans going down, trying to see if they can take down that hatchery. They are not going to be successful. So Destiny being very effective at this point in the game with these burrowed infestors, just moving them around the map, trying to do as much harassment as possible. EGIdRA, though, however, looking very solid, does have a very substantial lead right now, 26 supply over ROOTDestiny. If you look at the income tab real quick, we do see EGIdRA with a commanding lead at 67 to just a 58 harvesters of Destiny, as Destiny is building even more spine crawlers. This is like a spine crawler bonanza at the natural of Destiny. Destiny must not be feeling very safe at all. 4 infestors going forward for Destiny now. Gonna maybe see if we can get some kind of harassment done with these infestors. Still a couple of infestors at the fourth of EGIdRA. So they're likely going to try and make it very difficult for EGIdRA to be able to mine from that base. Now we have these 4 infestors moving forward. Will they actually be able to do anything? The Overseer does spot them, though. These roaches are going to easily clean up those infestors. Oh, that is going to hurt Destiny. He was trying to get those into the main or the natural of EGIdRA, but EGIdRA just happened to be coming by with an Overseer at the time. But meanwhile, over at the fourth of EGIdRA, we do have 4 more infested Terrans down, killing a whole bunch of drones, actually. Getting several kills, if we do look. It doesn't say kills on these infested Terran, but it will tell you the kills on these infestors. See 10 and 8. Those infestors actually doing a very good job of harassing and try and poke at this expansion of EGIdRA, but are going to be unsuccessful at actually taking it down. EGIdRA now moving around, wants to see if he can find those infestors. The infestors are going to try and run, but here comes the roaches, here comes the Overseer. It's going to be almost nowhere for these to run. Trying to get away if he can. This is going to be very hard, as we do have EGIdRA moving in to cut these infestors off. Is going to cut them off. Kills both those infestors, and that will actually secure all the bases of EGIdRA now. No infestors lurking around anywhere anymore. Very good job by EGIdRA, keeping a very firm hold on everything. And now over here at the fourth, the ROOTDestiny, we do have some of EGIdRA's roaches going to go over there, force him to cancel. Now just going to pull back. Destiny getting in a very awkward position here. 182 supply for EGIdRA, 155 for Destiny. Hive Tech is on the way now. We did have a Spire go down for Destiny in the back of his natural. Is being morphed to make Broodlords. Several Corruptors already out in the field. Meanwhile, back in the base of EGIdRA, he has gotten his Hive. Spire is on the way. Will likely be building some defenses against those Broodlords sometime soon. 5 Broodlords now on the way for Root Gaming's Destiny. Also, Destiny moving out with a couple of Lings. Will he be able to intercept any of the forces of EGIdRA? EGIdRA actually is going to be able to clean up most of these Lings. going to be able to stop them. Bunch of infestors moving forward for Destiny. Destiny's going to be very careful. Does not want to get those fungal growth. If EGIdrA were able to fungal growth those, and he is going to be able to kill several of Destiny's infestors. Destiny losing a bunch of infestors, and that gets absolutely no kills. A little bit of mismanagement of units there. EGIdrA now taking a 5th base on the map. EGIdrA looking very solid right now. A couple infestors moving back forward again for Destiny. Wants to see if he can get any more harassment done, as Destiny is just turtling extremely hard on these 3 bases. Does have a couple of Broodlords now, 5 to be exact. Bunch of infestors still. Very heavy infestor style of ZVZ play for Root Gaming's Destiny. EGIdrA now with 19 Corruptors on the way to deal with any Broodlords, and a ton of infested Terrans going into the 4th of EGIdrA. They would likely be able to take this out if they focus fire. I do not know if he will focus fire the base, though. Yes, he will actually focus fire the base. Does clean up the 4th of EGIdrA, but EGIdrA does have a 5th base, which will now be his 4th on the way. Going to maybe be able to get a couple more kills with these infested Terrans, and that's probably going to be all she wrote. Base is now just about to get up for EGIdrA. EGIdrA just transferring his drones from his 4th to his new 4th. On the map, those roaches coming in there with the Overseer. Wants to clean up these infestors. Doesn't want them hanging around his base. Going to kill them both off very easily. Now we do have Destiny. He has tried to get this base back up again. Going to be building about a bazillion and 2 spine crawlers at this base. If we look at the income for Destiny, we see there's 72 harvesters to just the 54 of EGIdrA. EGIdrA with an absolute fleet of corruptors down here. Destiny now trying to move forward with these infestors. Will he actually be able to get something done? Actually mismanaging these infestors again. Loses a whole bunch of them. Not even actually attacking with any of these infestors. What is Destiny doing? Meanwhile, back in the base, we did have an attempt to get up something in the back of EGIdRA's base. I actually did not see what that was. I don't know if that was a Nidus or if that was something else. So Destiny trying to do what almost seemed like a desperation play to try and get something going on in the back of the base, but was unsuccessful. All these spine crawlers have not hatched it. Here comes the forces of EGIdrA. Wants to deny ROOTDestiny his 4th base. All the spine crawlers will hatch, though, poking away at these drones. These drones, however, poking away at these roaches, I should say. These roaches, however, are going to try and push through the spine crawlers of ROOTDestiny, seeing if they can get through. Meanwhile, over by the natural of ROOTDestiny, we do have that fleet of Corruptors moving in. They are going to go straight after the Broodlords of Destiny. Going to see if he can actually pick those off. Does not want those to be causing him any problems. A couple of Hydralisks now hatching for Destiny. Destiny's Hydralisks trying to take out these Corruptors before they can take out all the Broodlords. EGIdrA actually missing the focus fire, and then a very good fungal growth goes down by Destiny. Is going to kill a lot of these Corruptors without them actually killing off his Broodlords. Looks like he's probably going to lose one more Broodlord, but no, just barely does manage to save it, but he does end up losing his 4th base. So now we do have the Zerg of EGIdrA now on 5 bases. His 5th base, which was previously his 4th, just not coming online. As another base over here, a couple of spine crawlers by each base to defend them from any kind of infestors or roach counters. EGIdrA now moving forward. EGIdrA looking very stout. Bunch of roaches, bunch of infestors. Meanwhile, the army of Destiny is now moving out. Hydralisks mostly, and infestors with some Broodlords. It'll be interesting to see how this is going to go. Destiny actually managing to get off a fungal growth on some of the roaches of EGIdrA, doing decent amount of damage to them. Do see there's several roaches hurt of EGIdRA's. EGIdRA does have burrow, could just burrow them up if he wanted to. Here comes the Corruptors for EGIdRA. This might be EGIdRA's time to move out. He is almost max, 190 to just a 150 supply of Destiny. EGIdRA operating off of 5 bases to just the 3 of Destiny. Corruptors are going to poke forward, but they are going to get caught by the infestors. Does fungal growth them. Infestors now fungal growthing all the roaches of EGIdRA. EGIdRA is going to keep trying to push in, though. Here comes the Broodlords raining down from the skies, but here comes the Corruptors to try and clean up the Broodlords. A lot of infestors for Destiny do not have enough energy to do anything at the moment. Spent most of his fungal growths, or did not have any fungal growths. Those Corruptors are going to be able to clean up all the Broodlords of Destiny. Destiny is actually mined out now at his natural and his main, just warning off of 1 base, and is going to be forced to GG. That is going to be the end of the game. Destiny playing extremely defensively, just could not get extra bases up. EGIdRA, however, playing a lot more aggressively and teching just a little bit slower than Destiny, and winning with much superior numbers. May have lost a few engagements, but very wise play by Team EG's EGIdRA, and he will take this game over Root Gaming's Destiny. This is going to be the Casting Hydralist VP Nursky. I'm going to get out of here now, guys. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you guys at the next cast.